Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Barbie has never been out of style, and one of the most defined, on-point, and clearly translated eras for the fashion doll was during Gen X, more specifically the 1980s. In this show, we'll explore Barbies that represented some of the most influential trends of that decade, and how this icon moved past teen model to multifaceted it girl for a generation. You've entered the Gen Experience. I'm Victor, and I watched Barbie jump on every fad bandwagon the 1980s threw at her. Through the media and toy aisle presence, Barbie didn't miss a beat when it came to the music scene, California culture, or topical themes of a career woman and brand marketing that were so prevalent in the over-the-top 1980s. Please consider helping the channel by clicking subscribe. Now click that like, and come on Barbie, let's go party. Living healthy wasn't just a fad in the 80s, it was a religion. Aerobics and jazzercise were hitting their stride, and Barbie fell in line with the health craze of the time, among other emerging active lifestyle changes. Still holding on to the roller derby of the 70s, Barbie skated into a new decade with confidence and no helmet or knee pads, but one sassy as fuck outfit in 1980. Great shape Barbie in 1983. Jane Fonda made a powerful impact on our Barbara. Keeping in shape as she got older was easy in her appropriate aerobics outfit, but still keeping it modest, unlike other leotards of the day. I knew I loved this look. Those are the colors of my channel, and this Barbie is featured heavily in Toy Story 3. Day to night. She had plenty of the most modern sports cars, but she also lived the rich, active life of a businesswoman of 1985, minus the cocaine. Life was on the go then, and like Dynasty, work and play were the order of the day. Going from CEO to out on the town was depicted in every film and TV show, getting us engaged with life outside the dream house, and this pivotal look took Barbie right into the era. Barbie was having a cool time with Midge in the late 80s, before Midge's unfortunate pregnancy scandal. Cool times meant an ice cream soda and a scooter. Wait, is this 1988 or 1958? Skateboarding proved much too difficult for high heels, but rollerblades were hot in 1991, and Barbie set the trend on fire with these flicker and flash rollerblades. What, no helmet again? She certainly isn't teaching young girls safety. Well, it won't be hard for Ski Patrol to spot her lifeless body on the slopes in that day-glow outfit of 1991. She had tried her hand, or more appropriately her feet, at skiing first in 1975. But the sport had been brought to the common man in the late 80s, and Barbie was there to take another crack at it. There were fashion trends and gimmicks that a girl like Barbie has to keep adapting to if she is going to remain on top. From hair to clothes and action features, these are some of her best that defined a decade. Barbie had never been so timely with a fad. Taking a cue from Urban Cowboy, she first dressed Western in 1980 to mirror the John Travolta-Deborah Winger film. Although I'm not sure Barbie fans were the target audience for that flick, if you know what I mean. The style has never really fell out of fashion, just evolved over time. And over the decade, Barbie and Ken rebranded their country couture on various occasions. Never one to be married to a single look, Barbie had to keep up with the ebbs and flows of fashion. Keeping up with her model beginnings, when she wasn't in fringe, you could find her in denim. Not quite the most iconic 80s style of jeans just yet, but more the Brooke Shields type of dark blue with contrasting stitching from 1981. Barbie's brand was even on her butt, but it wouldn't be long before this look was totally last season, and the edgier denim fun covered her assets in 1989. Barbie looked the part in the early 80s blue jumpsuit and a fabulous fur she wore for the last time in 1983. Although fake, PETA thought it was authentic albino mink and tossed red paint across it. Barbie would never sport fur like this again. Barbie and Friends may have been designed for girl play of the time, but it didn't mean she couldn't get in on the action features synonymous with boy play. Boys were all about transformation. Although mostly in regard to giant robots, Barbie had been making use of transformation gimmicks and action features for some time now. Magic curl in 1981. You have curls, you want straight hair, or vice versa. It was the same with Barbie in 1981, where an activator solution was included to perm her hair. Not sure if it came with gloves, or if you should have been even inhaling it. She did come wearing a bright yellow prairie-inspired outfit. It's what kids today call cottagecore. They didn't invent it, they just wanted to mark their territory on an old idea, kinda like peeing on something. Twirly Curl in 1982. Barbie came with an almost full-size battery-powered wand device for this gimmick, and better yet, you could use it on yourself. Of course, it was meant to twist Barbie's hair and yours. I wouldn't recommend using it anywhere else. Transformers were huge by 1985, but Dream Glow Barbie in the same year's transformation seemed lame in comparison. Turn out the lights and she looks like a float from Disney's Main Street Electrical Parade. Magic Moves 85. Now this was an action feature I could get behind. Just click the button on the back and let her arms go. I only wish you could have controlled the speed and you could make her flail around like she's swatting hornets or maybe just drying her hair. Jewel Secret. But what's the secret? It's that big old glittery potato sack Barbie's wearing turns into a purse for you to hold your essentials like the allowance, plastic jewelry, and cheap blue eyeshadow to match the year 1986. One of the most controversial Barbies, Teen Talk in 1991 could tell you all kinds of things that teen girls might actually be talking about. Even,
"Math class is tough."
Apparently, that was a sin to admit. But don't take it hard, Barbie. You weren't kidding. It was tough even for the boys. I got a C-. I don't remember any girl in 1986 putting their hair up into what can only be described as the moon swirl. Just tease and hairspray the hell out of those bangs, Barbie, and you're all set for yearbook pictures. Going out to paint the town red was really all that Barbie and Ken had to do, but they tried hard to keep disco from dying in 1981 like the real world did. By 1989, Barbie was still hoping for a disco comeback. To be ready for anything, this Dance Magic Barbie could change from evening gown to disco dress with one step of the hustle. And just in case neither were appropriate for the evening, it could also be a ballerina tutu. Believe me, a tutu for a night out in the 80s sounds about right. The music scene was not lost on our big busted beauty. She proclaimed full-out war on Hasbro's Gem in 1987 for dominance. If you like your share of showbiz scandal, look up the Barbie and Gem feud of 1985. Be it as it may, Barbie beat Gem to the punch with her own rock band and signature saccharine ballads as Barbie and the Rockers, a 5-piece group that eventually became 6 when they allowed Ken to play the next year. The 50s were big in the 80s, nostalgia-wise, so after putting Starlight Music out of business, Barbie went back in time to reboot some 50s doo-wop with Barbie and the Sensations in 1988. And then there's Dance Club Barbie, an uninspired rebrand of the Barbie rock band Dolls. But it was just trying to keep up with the changing times and stay relevant at the dawn of the 1990s. Barbie knew how to align with powerful brands that kept the world talking about both she and the product or company she aligned with. Never was this more relatable than in the 1980s when movie product placement and endorsement deals were big business and in full swing. Michael Jackson had done it successfully, so why not Barbie? Posing in the Pepsi Spirit soda gear in 1989, Barbie only hoped her Aquanet-filled locks wouldn't catch fire like MJ's. United Colors of Benetton. Remember this brand? I remember their marketing and that their clothes just seemed to be a bold colored material swathed and wrapped around you like a mummy. Barbie got into this culture diversity charged advertising in 1990 and pushed the product to many young people purchasing her plastic while practically preaching its place in pop culture. Whew. It isn't a surprise, nor would it be the last time Barbie teamed up with Mickey. Although obviously Disney branded with the ears and the shirt, it must have cost extra to have the name printed out, as it does not appear on the box in 1990. A few deals were made over the years, one that included a live appearance at Epcot in 1994. Barbie's got to stay youthful, and there's no better place than a Disney weekend. Don't gasp or grasp your pearls. McDonald's is popular, huge, and a mega brand to team with. Barbie didn't judge and loves the attention, not to mention those McNuggets. With all the Happy Meal toys themed to her, why not some Golden Arches product placement of her own in 1982? I just hope she doesn't purge to keep her figure. Totally Hair give you a long, blank canvas to use your imagination with, and a bottle of authentic Depp hair gel in 1988. Your choices were to spike Barbie's bangs or just flip her long locks around her and an outfit to rival Vivian's in Pretty Woman. That didn't stop this doll from being the best-selling Barbie of all time. Hooker! Big made FAO big again with their giant keyboard, but Barbie would move in with various FAO Schwartz exclusives, the first being Madison Avenue Barbie in 1991. A little dressed up for a toy store, but she came with a branded merchandise bag to convince you to shop. FAO wasn't accessible to everyone at the time, but did I mention it was big? Not the whole kit and caboodle, just the caboodle. the very transitional 80s to 90s neon-colored tackle box for makeup. A popular brand to tote your face in, Barbie luckily always woke up looking fabulous, so she didn't need to apply, but carried her own case in 1992. Content with fashion model, actress, and a small handful of other careers up until this point, the rise of women in the workplace, and being career-oriented, Barbie went to find herself during Gen X, making it big with dozens of job opportunities. By the end of 1991, she had served in all branches of the military and would soon fly with the Thunderbirds in 1993. And don't even get me started on her Olympic aspirations. The 80s was a great time for women climbing the corporate ladder, and Barbie would not remain on the bottom rung. In shoulder pads, Barbie showed kids they could be whatever their heart desired, and represented a changing dynamic. She may not have kept a job long, which is so Gen Z of her, but Barbie proves you just need that confidence and go-get-'em attitude. We should note astronaut. She went big in her first major career and just hasn't stopped, first becoming an astronaut 4 years before we got to the moon in 1965, the first year of Gen X. She would once again excel at space travel in 1984. The early 80s blasted us back into space with the exciting shuttle program. In true 80s fashion, Barbie could turn every career into a day-to-night fashion. Even after a trip to the moon, she's ready for a night on the town with Ken. The shuttle Challenger may have grounded her for a while, but by the 90s, she was back. And I just can't keep track of the almost 10 other space-themed Barbies since 1994, so best to move on. Good thing Barbie became a vet in 1985. She and her friends were about to have an explosion of pet merchandise over the next few years. Barbie always gets her man, so she was a Mountie in 1987. A doctor for the first time in 88. Okay, I am not counting Sexy Surgeon Barbie of 1973. I'm going to assume it was a part on a TV show like Emergency. I wonder what she practiced in 1988. Let me know in the comments what you think she would be an expert on in the medical field. Barbie became a pilot in 1989 before joining the Air Force, but after being part of NASA, she finally became a fashion designer in 1992. Lord, you'd think she would have fallen back on that years ago. But she still found time the same year to be a rockette. And in 1993, the end of youth for a lot of our mid-range Gen X, Barbie decided to keep others accountable and serve and protect as a police officer. And it's no surprise she can still parlay a great career into a way to meet guys. No, I didn't forget presidential nominee. She never quite made it to office, but she's run since 1992 and never missed a debate. Here's to world peace, Barbie. Unless you've been living under a rock, Barbie hails from California. Set up in a Malibu dream house, Barbie's money and influence got her everything her heart desired. Classic 1980s. There was no greater time for the California culture than Gen X. In the 70s, Malibu Barbie was the ultimate surfer girl, suntanned with long, straight hair. And as she transitioned into the 80s, the hair might have changed, but our love for all things California intensified, and Barbie continued to feed our dreams of the Southern Cali beach life aesthetic with dolls like this. Sun-loving Malibu in 78. They stuck around the beach sporting mirrored shades and real tan lines. No, go ahead and check, they don't mind, this was a real thing. Then sensational Malibu was in 81 and Sun Gold in 83, keeping the Golden State your state of mind. By 1985, beach time was a more subdued look, but at least Ken was wearing an appropriate mesh shirt for the time. A year later, Barbie and Ken were getting laid with a tropical setting of 1986. California Dreams, still only a year later in 1987, the whole gang looked a little less beach, but more walking on the boardwalk in their exaggerated California dreamin' styles. Barbie came with the Beach Boy record just 1 year before they released their 80s hit Kokomo. How timely. It was getting relentless. Each year more sun, more surf, California, more beaching off with Sun Magic in 1988 and Beach Blast in 89. The latter in some new surf jet ski looks, but both with color-changing hair extensions. The world ate up lifestyles of the rich and famous, and why should that not include Barbie? Almost always matching Ken by her side, no wonder he likes to beach off anytime with anyone. And that is a reference to the Barbie movie, but more on that in another video. I consider 1977 to 1993 to be when a good portion of Gen X youth thrived, and Barbie rode shotgun with a lot of kids during the time. 1977 is also the year that the superstar Barbie head mold, the one that most Gen Xers think of, debuted and changed the look and feel of our favorite plastic-injected doll forever. I suppose you can always look like a superstar when you're your own plastic surgeon. Superstar Barbie had a wide smile and fuller hair, blue shimmer eyeshadow, brightly painted eyes, and pale pink lip gloss that were in step with the glittering disco glam look found gyrating on dance floors across the country. Barbie doll is a cultural icon that, no matter what you think of her, continues to live in the hearts and minds of billions of people. She translates the culture norms of the times and is a tangible history book of our society. She translated no time more literally or obviously as she did during the Gen experience. If you enjoyed the show as much as I had making it, please consider pressing subscribe and look around the channel for more great content like this. Please gift me with a like to help with the YouTube algorithm, and thank you to my returning viewers, and hello to the new ones. Until next time.